Hello students, welcome to chemistry class. Today we are going to discuss an important topic stereochemistry. Stereochemistry plays a significant role in nucleophilic substitution reactions. For example, SN1 reactions proceeds racemization. SN2 reactions proceeds inversion configuration at a stereogenic center. To understand this racemization and inversion configuration at a stereogenic center, we should know the principles and techniques involved in the stereochemistry. Let's start. What is PPL? What is optical activity of the molecules? PPL means plane polarized light, that is PPL, and optical activity, plane polarized light and optical activity. Initially, what is ordinary light? A beam of light consists of electromagnetic waves vibrating in all possible directions in a space. A beam of light consists electromagnetic waves vibrating in all possible directions in space is called ordinary light. Now ordinary light is vibrating in all possible directions like this. It's vibrating in all possible directions in space is called ordinary light. What about PPL, plane polarized light? Plane polarized light also a beam of light consists of electromagnetic waves vibrating in single plane. Ordinary light vibrating in all possible directions. What about PPL? It is vibrating in single plane. A beam of light consists electromagnetic waves vibrating in a single plane is called plane polarized light. When this ordinary light passed through a Nicol prism, it converted into the plane polarized light. Ordinary light means it is vibrating in all directions. Vibrating in all directions. When it is passed through a Nicol prism, it converted into PPL. What is PPL? Plane polarized light. Here all directions are there. It is vibrating in all directions. PPL means it is vibrating in single direction in a space. Clear? Now it is a Nicol prism is act as a polarizer. It is a polarize the ordinary light into plane polarized light. So it is act as a polarizer. It consists of Nicol prism consists of crystalline calcium carbonate. Crystalline calcium carbonate is used to polarize the ordinary light into plane polarized light. Understand? What is ordinary light? Vibrating in all possible directions. What about PPL? Vibrating in single plane. Okay, that is the difference between. When this ordinary light passed through a polarizer or Nicol prism, all other directions except one direction cut off. For example, this is the Nicol prism. It has the slits like this. Now, the ordinary light when passed through a Nicol prism, the plane of ordinary light which is similar to this slit, it is comes out from these slits. Remaining cut off here. For example, the ordinary light vibrating in this direction. Ordinary light vibrating in this direction. Vibrating in this direction. Now it is cut off here. Ordinary light vibrating in this direction is cut off here. Okay. The ordinary light which is vibrating in this direction, same in this direction, it is comes out. So all ordinary light which is vibrating in the same direction, they are coming outside. Okay. Only single plane. All are coming outside. These are vibrating in a single plane like this. Single plane. Remaining all are cut off here. Okay. This is the duty of polarize. It is a polarize the ordinary light into PPL. Ordinary light vibrating in all directions. All are cut off here. The except single plane. Which plane? Which is vibrating like this. Which is vibrating like this. Okay. It is coming from the slits outside like this. All beam of light. The beam of light which is comes out, that is a vibrating in a single plane like this. Single plane. So that is called plane polarized light. So it is act as a polarized. It is polarized the ordinary light into PPL. Plane polarized light. When the plane polarized light passed through a organic substance, aqueous solution of organic substance, the plane of polarized light rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise. For example, it is rotating clockwise, optically active. For example, it is rotating anti-clockwise, optically active. And some of the organic compounds do not rotate the PPL, means they are optically inactive. When PPL passes through a solution of organic compound, the plane of polarized light rotating either clockwise or anti-clockwise. If it is rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise, means it is optically active. The substance is optically active. For example, the solution of organic compound do not rotate the plane of polarized light is optically inactive. The rotation and direction and the magnitude of the rotation can measured by using a polarimeter. Okay, for example, a white light converted into a polarized light. The polarized light passes through a organic solution. It is rotating either clockwise or anti-clockwise. The rotation of clockwise and anti-clockwise and magnitude of rotation of PPL we can measure by using of polarimeter. In polarimeter, first one, source of light. It consists of source of light. Source of light. Source of light means is ordinary light. OL, ordinary light. Now ordinary light vibrating in all possible directions. When it is passed through a Nicol prism, it consists of polarimeter consists of Nicol prism. This is a Nicol prism. What it does? Nicol prism cut off the all directions, but is only accept a single direction. Means it is converted into plane polarized light. Okay, PPL. PPL means the beam of light which vibrating in single plane. Okay, it is a polarizer. Nicol prism. Nicol prism consists of crystalline calcium carbonate. It is act as a polarizer. It act as a polarizer. It polarize the ordinary light into plane polarized light. Clear? Understand? It prevent the movement of all directions except one direction. Okay, now this is moving in, vibrating in all possible directions. when it is passed through a nickel prism, it is a prevent all directions except one direction. Except this direction, remaining all are cut off here. Remaining all are cut off in the nickel prism. We will get only single plane. The beam of light which is vibrating in a single plane is called PPL, plane polarized light. And this PPL passes through a sample tube. What is it? A sample tube. It contains solution of organic compound. Sample you have taken in this sample tube. When this PPL passes through this organic solution, this is the direction of PPL. PPL rotating either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clear? PPL rotating clockwise by theta angle or anti-clockwise, that is also theta angle. Okay, this is the actual plane of PPL. Okay, actual vibration of PPL is vibrating in the direction. Okay, when this PPL passed through a sample means organic solution. Now the plane of polarized light rotating either clockwise, whatever this CW clockwise, whatever this ACW anti-clockwise, either it is rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise means we can say this right side, rotating right side, this is the left side. Okay, when the organic solution rotating a plane of polarized light either clockwise or anti-clockwise is called optically active. Optically active. Clear? These are the instruments consist in the polarimeter. What is it? Polarimeter. This is a polarimeter. Now observations. What are the observations? If PPL do not rotate it. First one, case 1. If PPL do not rotate, means not affected, means as it is there. Plane of polarized light as it is there. Then the organic compound is called optically inactive. Optically inactive. Clear? Case 2. If PPL rotate clockwise or right side is called dextro-rotatory. Dextro-rotatory. So rotating it is a optically active. Its actual plane. This is the PPL, but it is rotating clockwise by theta angle. Means it is optically active. Next, case 3. If PPL plane of polarized light rotate left side or anti-clockwise, it is optically active. Rotating either clockwise or anti-clockwise, it is optically active. That is called levorotatory. Levorotatory. Now this is the plane of polarized light. Is vibrating or rotating anti-clockwise by theta angle. So it is a levorotatory, and this is called L form. Whatever is D form. Dextro-rotatory D form, levorotatory L form. By the sign we can write it as a plus. By the sign we can write it as a negative. Okay, anti-clockwise is a negative, clockwise is positive. Understand? This is a construction of polarimeter. Polarimeter consists of source of light, polarizer, PPL, and sample tube. When this ordinary light passes through a nickel prism, what happened? It polarizes. It cut off all directions of ordinary light except one direction. The one direction is coming outside. This is called PPL. What is it? PPL, plane polarized light. Okay, when this PPL, plane polarized light passed through a sample. Sample 2 contains a solution of organic compound. When it is passed through a sample, it rotating either clockwise or anti-clockwise. If it is rotates clockwise or anti-clockwise, the compound is optically active. For example, it is do not rotate the plane of polarized light. It is optically inactive. The compound is optically inactive. Clear? Understand? Here, case 1. If the PPL do not rotates, okay, if PPL, plane polarization do not rotate, IST is there, then this organic solution or organic compound is optically inactive. When PPL passes through a organic solution sample clockwise, okay, plane of polarized light rotates clockwise, right side. It is called as a dextro-rotatory. It is optically active. Rotation takes place means it is optically active. Okay, clockwise means dextro-rotatory. It is called D form. By the sign we can write it is a plus. Now it is rotating clockwise by theta angle. Case 2, if PPL rotate left side anti-clockwise means levo-rotatory. The compound is called levo-rotatory. L form. Which form this is a L form. By the sign we can write it as a minus, negative. Okay. Next part, chiral atom. To show the chirality or chiral atom must be sp3 hybridized. Atom must be sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized means how many hybrid orbitals are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. sp3 hybrid orbitals are there. Means valence how much? 4. Valence how much? 4. The valence is satisfied by 4 sigma bonds or 3 sigma bonds and 1 lone pair. It may be 4 sigma bonds or 3 sigma bonds, 1 lone pair. The tetravalency of the atom must be satisfied with 4 different groups. Tetravalency of an atom must be satisfied with 4 different groups. Must be different group. Then it is called chiral atom, asymmetric atom, stereogenic center or stereo center. For example, this is the carbon atom. It contains 4 valences. Tetravalence is satisfied by A, B, C, D. 4 different groups are there. Tetravalence of this carbon is satisfied by 4 different groups. And one more thing, it is undergoes sp3 hybridization. Okay, second point, satisfied by 4 different groups. So it is a chiral center. Chiral center represented by star. Chiral center. What is this? Chiral center. And this is called asymmetric. Asymmetric or stereogenic center. Or stereo center. All are same. Stereo center. Chiral center or asymmetric or stereogenic or stereo center. This total molecule is called asymmetric molecule, chiral molecule. Clear? Example. Find out the chiral centers of the compound. How many chiral centers are there? What is the first point? Atom must be sp3 hybridized. Whatever this carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization, whatever this sp3, this is also sp3. All are undergoes sp3 hybridization. What about second point? The tetravalency of an atom must be satisfied with 4 different groups. Here 3 hydrogens are there, means similar atoms are there, means it is a not a chiral. What about this? One hydrogen is there, another one is a chlorine is there, and right side CH3 group is there, left side also CH3 group is there. Okay, understand this? Single bond H. Now this is undergoes sp3 hybridization. Which hybridization? sp3 hybridization. Now it contains 4 groups. Among these 4 groups are hydrogen and chlorine. 2 different groups are there. Remaining 2 similar groups are there. So it is not a chiral. It is not a chiral. Next example. What about this? In this compound also all carbon atoms are undergoes sp3 hybridization. sp3, 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 all are sp3 hybridized carbon atoms. But here the tetravalency among the 4 valences, 3 valences satisfied by similar groups, similar hydrogen atoms. What about here? 2 similar hydrogen atoms here, 3 similar hydrogen atoms. Means 1, 2, 3. These 3 carbon atoms are not a chiral. There is no chirality. What about this carbon? It contains one hydrogen, one chlorine, and another is methyl group, and remaining this is a ethyl group. This is methyl, this is a ethyl, hydrogen, chlorine. So it is a chiral center. Okay, it is a chiral center. Next example. Check. What about this carbon? sp3, but 3 hydrogen atoms are there. It is not a chiral. What about this? Also not chiral. We have doubt on these 2 carbon atoms. Let's check. Hydrogen, chlorine. 2 different groups. Methyl and this total group is there. So it is a chiral center. What is the chiral center? What about this carbon? Having one hydrogen atom, bromine, and the left side this total group is the right side methyl group is there. This is also chiral center. Means 2 chiral centers are there here. How many? 2 chiral centers. In this compound CH3, these 2 are having similar hydrogen, so these 2 are not a chiral centers. Okay. What about this? Hydrogen and hydrogen atoms are like this. Among the 4 valences are 2 valences satisfied by hydrogen and iodine, and another is methyl group. Remaining left side another group is there, so it is a chiral center. What is it? A chiral center. These 2 are not a chiral because similar hydrogen atoms are there. What about this? One chiral center is over. What about this carbon? Carbon having hydrogen and iodine. 2 different groups are there. Remaining CHI, CH3, similar groups are there, so it is not a chiral. It is also not a chiral. This is also not a chiral center. Clear? What about this carbon? Carbon having hydrogen and iodine, left side methyl group is there, right side total group is there. So this is also chiral center. So how many chiral centers are there? 2 chiral centers. How many chiral centers are there? 2 chiral centers. Clear? Name of this compound 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. Check the chiral centers. Whatever is 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms and 5, 6 carbon atoms all are undergoes sp3 hybridization. Whatever is 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms having 2 hydrogen, similar groups are there, similar hydrogen, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, hydrogen are there. So similar hydrogen atoms are there, they are not a chiral centers. We have down on these 2 carbon atoms, CH3 and CH3, methyl groups are there. Now check the chiral center of this. Here one CH3 group is there, one hydrogen is there. 2 different groups are there initially. Remaining, when we are moving in this direction here, which group is there? CH group is there, carbon and hydrogen group is there. In this direction, CH2 group is there, CH2 group is there, 2 hydrogens, carbon, CH2 group is there. So 2 different groups are there, so it is a chiral. What is this? This is a chiral carbon, chiral atom. What about this carbon? This carbon having one hydrogen, one CH3, two different groups are there. When we are moving in this direction, CH2 group is there, CH2 group is there. What about in this direction? CH group is there. Means two different groups are there, so it is a chiral centers. How many chiral centers are there? Two chiral centers are there. Two chiral centers. Next example. 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. All carbon atoms are undergoes sp3 hybridization. Here two hydrogens are there, hydrogen and hydrogen. Here also two hydrogen. In this carbon also two hydrogen. Here also two hydrogen atoms are there. Similar groups are there. Two hydrogen atoms, two hydrogen atoms. What about here? CH3 and CH3 both are same. So zero chiral centers are there. Chiral center, no chiral centers. CH3, CH3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexane. Find out the chiral centers. How many chiral centers are there? We have doubt on these carbons, on these two carbons. Remaining these two hydrogens, two hydrogens, two hydrogens, two hydrogens. Similar hydrogen atoms are there, similar groups are there, so they are not a chiral centers. We have doubt on this 1 and 4th carbon, first carbon, 4th carbon. Now check it. First carbon having CH3H, CH3H. Two different groups are there. Initially two different groups are there. In this direction check CH2. In this group CH2. Here CH2. Here CH2. CH. Similar groups are there. So no chiral. Once again. Now this carbon having CH3 group and hydrogen. Two different groups are there. Let's check left side and right side. Left side, when you are moving in this direction, CH2. Similar groups are there. Again, CH2. Similar groups are there. Finally, when they reach both CH carbon is there. So that is not a chiral. What about this carbon? This carbon having one hydrogen, another one is a methyl group is there. Okay, two different groups are there. When we are moving in this direction, CH2. In this direction, CH2, and again we are getting a CH2. Finally, we will get CH. Means this is also not a chiral. Means zero chiral centers are there. Zero chiral centers. 1,1 dimethyl cyclobutane. How many chiral centers are there? CH3. Similar groups are there. And this is also having two hydrogens, here two methyl groups are there. So zero chiral centers. Similarly, this 1,2 dimethyl cyclobutane. In 1,2 dimethyl cyclobutane, these two carbon, there is no doubt, they are not a chiral atoms because two hydrogen atoms are there. What about these two carbon? 1,2 position to first carbon having one hydrogen and then CH2 group. Remaining two groups we have to check. When we are moving down, here CH carbon is there, here CH2 carbon is there. Two different groups, so it is a chiral carbon. Clear? Similarly, what about this carbon? One hydrogen atom is there and then CH2 group is there. Two different groups are there already. Now in this direction, when we are moving up, here CH carbon is there, In this direction, CH2 carbon is there. Two different groups are there, so it is also chiral. How many chiral centers are there? Two chiral centers. How many chiral centers, sir? Two chiral centers. Now 1,3 dimethyl cyclobutane. 1, 2, 3. 1,3. Now we don't have any doubt on this. Okay. These two carbons, we have no doubt about it because two hydrogen atoms are there. They are not a chiral centers. What about this carbon? We have doubt. One is methyl group is there, and then is a hydrogen atoms are there. Already two different groups are there remaining. I have to check it now. When we are moving in this direction, which group is there? CH2. In this direction, CH2. Similar groups are there. CH, CH. Same groups are there. This is not a chiral. Similarly, on this carbon having CH3 and hydrogen. In this direction, CH2 carbon. In this direction, CH2 carbon. Similar groups are there. No chiral. Finally, it reaches CH carbon, both reaches at CH carbon. No chiral means zero chiral centers. Zero chiral centers. Next up, find out the chiral centers of the following compounds. First one, tertiary butyl chloride. Second one, secondary butyl chloride. Third one, neopentyl chloride. Fourth one, tertiary pentyl chloride. Question. Find out the chiral centers of the following compounds. First one, tertiary butyl chloride. Structure of tertiary butyl chloride. This is a tertiary butyl chloride. In tertiary butyl chloride, all carbon atoms are undergoes sp3 hybridization. What's the next condition? The tetravalency of the carbon should be balanced with should be formed with 4 different groups. Satisfied with 4 different groups. 3 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen, 3 hydrogens are there. On this carbon, 3 methyl groups are there. So it is a not a chiral. This is not a chiral carbon. Okay. Next one, second one, secondary butyl chloride. Secondary butyl. Methylpropyl-butyl. Secondary butyl chloride. Secondary butyl chloride. In secondary butyl chloride, here one hydrogen atom is there, chlorine atom is there. What about this CH3, C2H5? This is C2H5. Understand? What about this group? This is a C2H5. What about this CH3? Right side CH3, left side C2H5 is there. On this carbon, one hydrogen, another chlorine is there. 4 different groups are there, so it is a chiral. Chiral center is there. So it is a chiral molecule. Next one, third one, neopentyl chloride. Neopentyl chloride. All carbon atoms are undergoes sp3 hybridization. 1, 2, 3 carbon having similar 3 hydrogen groups are there, so they are not a chirals. What about this carbon? This also undergoes sp3 hybridization, but 1, 2, 3 similar groups are there, 3 methyl groups are there, it is also not a chiral. What about this carbon? This also undergoes sp3 hybridization, but here 2 similar hydrogen atoms are there, so 0 chiral centers. 0 chiral centers are there. Next one, tertiary pentyl chloride. One, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is a tertiary pentyl chloride. In tertiary pentyl chloride, all carbon atoms are undergoes sp3 hybridization, but 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms having 3 similar hydrogen atoms. What about the CH2 carbon? sp3 hybridized, but 2 hydrogen atoms are there, they are similar. This is also not chiral. What about this carbon? This also undergoes sp3 hybridization. One is chlorine, another is CH3. 2 different groups are there. Okay, what about left side? CH3 group is there. CH3, both are similar. So this is also not a chiral. 0 chiral centers are there. How many chiral centers are? 0 chiral centers are there. In glucose, here carbon, 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 carbon. These are the carbon atoms. Okay. In this carbon atoms, HOH, two different groups. CHO group is there and remaining another group is there. Different group is there. Similar, this carbon, OH, HO, two different groups are there. Remaining total group HOH, CHO group is there and remaining this group is there. Means all are chiral centers. How many chiral centers are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many chiral centers are there? 4 chiral centers. 4 chiral centers present in the compound. Next, COOH, CH2OH, OH. Check here. This carbon having OH, H, COH, CH2OH. 4 different groups are there. So it is a chiral center. Clear? What about sulfuric acid? In sulfuric acid, sulfur undergoes sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. Hybridization, okay. What about groups? 2 similar oxygens or 2 similar OH groups are there. So it is not a chiral sulfur. Okay. Which is the sulfur atom is chiral sulfur. Nitrogen is there, chiral nitrogen. Carbon is there, chiral carbon. Next one, OH, OMe, this is the iodine. Check here, hybridization of sulfur, sp3 hybridization. Here iodine is there, O18, O16. This nothing is there, means O16. Molecular weight of oxygen A16. What about this is iodine? Here OH group is there, OMe is there, methox group is there. So it is a chiral sulfur. What is it? A chiral sulfur. Similarly, nitrogen. So nitrogen undergoes which hybridization? This is a sp3 and it is attached to CH2 group, hydrogen and a lone pair, and another is a carbon. Okay, this cyclohexene. Cyclohexene, one group CH2 group is there and hydrogen is there, lone pair is there. Is it a chiral nitrogen? In this case, double bond, single bond, double bond. The conjugation is there. The lone pair of electrons are involved in resonating structures. We will get here partial double bond between nitrogen and carbon. CH3, H, here negative charge. Okay. When lone pair of electrons undergoes resonating structures or delocalized lone pairs present on the nitrogen atom undergoes sp2 hybridization. What about this hybridization? sp2, not sp3. This is wrong. Okay, this is not a sp3 hybridization. When the lone pair of nitrogen involves in resonating structure, it undergoes sp2 hybridization because here partial double bond is there. Okay, partial double bond, so it is undergoes sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridized carbon atom, nitrogen atom is there, so it is not a chiral. This is not a chiral nitrogen. Clear? These are the examples of fine dividing of chiral centers. Okay, in the next class we will discuss what is chirality, what is optical activity, what are enantiomers. We will discuss in detail in the next video.